Daily, how many Doctor Who fans does it take to change a light bulb?
I have no idea.
1 million.
Why 1 million?
One to change the light bulb, and the others to say that, although the new bulb is okay, the bulbs they grew up with were much better.
Oh.
Planet of the pudding brains.
There's no point in being grown up if you can't be childish sometimes.
Would you like a jelly baby?
Shut up!
Hello and welcome, Whovians. It's time for a brand new episode of Musings of a Pudding Brain. I'm Adam.
And I'm Matt.
And right away, spoilers. Spoilers. There's more spoilers in this than the last Fast and Furious movie.
Oh, dude, how many times do we have to go over this? I do the bad jokes, all right?
What?
Oh, lordy. But yes, obviously we're discussing the first episode of season 11, The Woman Who Fell to Earth.
Jodie Whittaker is the Doctor.
And she really does come crashing into this episode.
Yes.
But yes, obviously we left the Doctor as she. That's going to be a hard pronoun for me to flip around. So please, listeners, give me a break, all right? It's a
I'm
new
already
transition.
calling the Doctor she.
Absolutely love what she's doing, but please bear with me on the pronoun switch. I mean no offense.
Okay, all right.
But yes, obviously Jodie Whittaker is here as the new Doctor. We left her as she was literally falling to the earth high above somewhere.
Yes.
Into
At night.
the night sky at night from the TARDIS, and the TARDIS has disappeared.
Yeah, it's gone.
Off on its own journey.
It was blowing up inside.
Yeah, but again, blowing up inside, it's the TARDIS. It's like death for a Time Lord. It's kind of like the man flu.
Yeah.
We've seen it do this many times before.
She'll get over it.
And seriously, why do the Time Lords want to regenerate inside the TARDIS
with as much
knowing
destruction
they're
as it
going to
happens?
blow stuff up? Like, go take it outside. Just take it outside. Don't pee like in the house.
Yeah.
Just
No.
step outside, find a tree.
There you go.
You know,
At least you open up the door.
Some random planet. It'll be fine. But the episode opens up with a voice in the darkness.
Yes.
Saying, "I'm going to tell you about the greatest woman I ever knew." And it's a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Young black Englishman describing this woman of incredible strength and intelligence and passion, and he's talking about he mentioned something in the channel before that we're not privy to.
Nope.
About due to difficulties before. That's why I'm going out there today for her. And it flips to he's on top of a hill with his grandparents.
Yes.
Grandmother
his
and
nan.
step-grandfather.
Yes.
Who apparently he has some issues with, whether or not it's because he's a white Irish guy or because it's just his step-grandfather.
I think it's the step part.
You know.
It's like, hey, you don't get to replace my grandpa.
Yeah. Either way, there's some tension there, and Ryan, who is 19 years old, is trying to ride a bike.
Yeah.
And apparently he's had difficulties with this in the past. The condition that we weren't told about is a coordination disorder. He has a problem keeping his balance and doing coordinated mechanicals.
Yeah, it's a misfiring of the neurons on thought about motions. Like it's an odd disorder.
Right. So he's obviously been at this for a while. He's very frustrated because, of course, he tries to ride the bike and biffs. Just eats the dirt, literally. And, of course, Graham, the step-granddad, is kind of giving him a little bit of crap about it. He's trying to be encouraging, but he's also kind of giving him a little crap.
Sometimes you gotta give the guy a little, you gotta bust some balls every once in a while.
Yeah, a little tough love.
Yeah.
This works against him because Ryan becomes so frustrated. He picks up the bike and just chucks it off the cliffside.
Yeah.
With his nan going, "Don't you dare! Don't you dare!" And he
does
whips
it
off anyway.
Kind of an angry kid.
Yeah. Yeah, and we his mother has died recently. His father apparently is nowhere in the situation.
Not at all.
MIA. But Graham basically tells him, well, our train's leaving in about 20 minutes. Have fun getting that bike down
get
there.
it.
Go get it. So he's got to climb down this huge hillside into tree cover and finds his bike friggin'
Up in a
tree branch.
God.
This is what happens when you toss stuff off a cliff, kids.
Yeah. By the way, this is about the point that I really, really noticed how beautiful this episode is shot.
Oh, absolutely. It's very cinematic.
Yeah.
It definitely does not have the feel of a TV show.
No.
Shot, and there's no way I can really quantify that, but when something's been filmed for TV and when something has been filmed for like the big screen, and this has the feel of being filmed for the big screen,
right?
Which again, for classic Who fans, is a total departure of things that they are kind of used to, because CGI and everything has upgraded quite a little bit,
just a little bit,
just a wee little bit. And the new producers are taking this on a whole new way.
Yeah.
A new take on it. Everything down to, I believe it was you who told me off podcast about Jodie Whittaker knowing absolutely nothing about Doctor Who, and them pretty much telling her and her agent, no, don't investigate it, don't watch any. We want somebody to take this on their own new journey.
Yep.
Without any interference with what people expect it to be.
Yeah, you're not here to try to interpret what other people have done with the character before. You're taking a completely fresh take on the character. So, right. I mean,
wee.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I can't wait.
Right. Now, when Ryan gets down into the forested area and finds his bike, of course, a big energy circuit, symbol, glyph, whatever you want to call it, some sort of glowy thing that the first thing in your mind should not be, let's touch it. No,
but at the same time,
forms in front of him and forms what looks to be a button.
It's a button,
kind.
Dude.
And
do you blame him for pressing a button?
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
It's kind of his fault too.
Touch magical stuff that you don't know what it does. Just don't touch.
But
I don't care. It's glowing. It's obviously an energy source. No touch. No touchy.
Sometimes a button shows up in front of you and you just have to press it.
Yeah, and this is how a great many evils form in the universe, dude. It's, again,
I know.
No touchy. And then it's like, it's my fault. Yeah, it's your fault. It's your fault, and you should go do the noble thing here and whatever. Just, it's your fault. But anyways, he touches the damn button.
Yep.
And the glyph disappears, and then behind him, teleports in, apparates, whatever you want to call it, suddenly appears.
Shows up.
Basically looks like a big blue, purple and blue onion.
Yeah.
A pod of some sort.
Bit of garlic.
Yeah, a bit of garlic.
Yeah.
Very strange, but very large and apparently freezingly cold to the touch.
Yeah, like burning cold.
Yes. Now, Ryan displays the fact that he's kind of bright and immediately calls the police. He's like, I'm not dealing with this.
Nope.
No, we're going to call the authorities.
I'm getting somebody else here.
And then we flip to Yasmin, a police officer, who was having an issue with the fabulous housewives of Sheffield.
I love the fact that Yaz right away is that cop that you're just like, I am not taking your crap.
Right. Grow up.
Seriously, I'm here for a scratch.
Yeah, grown women can sort this out on their own without calling the police. Okay?
You pay for that, you pay for that. We're done here, right?
Yeah. While she's in the squad car, she's talking to somebody from dispatch and just saying, come on, I'm worth more than these parking violations and disputes. So she's basically a glorified meter maid.
Yeah.
And he reminds her, well, you're probationary. Listen, just...
This is what you do while in probation.
This is what you do for right now. Just don't screw it up and do it well, and you'll get bumped up eventually. But here, you want something interesting? Something just came in. And she's sent out to go and investigate what Ryan's on about.
Right.
And, of course, they happen to know each other from school. Coincidence.
I mean,
it's a small town, so we can assume, okay, hey, yeah.
Well, I mean, Sheffield's not really that small of a town, but at the same time, you do run into somebody that you know.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, hey, you became a cop. That's cool.
Oh, you're a Fed? We really don't call ourselves that. Like, oh, sorry.
Oops.
And we also find out Ryan is a warehouse worker, just an aside background kind of thing, and gets, of course, it's this tastes terrible, taste this. He gets Yaz to touch the pod and like, oh my God, it's freezing cold.
So cold.
Isn't it? At this point, it's dark. We flip back to, there's a train, the train that Ryan's grandparents are on.
Yes.
And as they're kind of talking about, well, the boy has to keep trying, and stop fooling around with me. We're in public.
We're in public right now.
Yeah, the grandmother is kind of being a little frisky and embarrassing. Embarrassing Graham, and
she's like, I can't keep my hands off this guy.
Right. you can tell Grace is probably kind of a cool grandmother.
Yeah.
Very down to earth and very, well, earthy, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
But as they're discussing things, she sees something out the window just kind of like bolt down out of the sky and appears to hit the train.
Yes.
So the train comes to a screeching halt. Everybody
lights
panics.
Go out.
Everybody jumps off that can, and of course they're in the one cabin car that they can't get out. The door is locked. Of course, they don't attempt to crawl out a window or go to another car. So, for some reason or another, everything in their car has been locked down.
Yeah.
And they can't
even though
get out.
She was able to yell out the window, lean out and yell out at other people.
Right. I mean, I understand that, some of the fluffier persuasion of us might not be able to squeeze through that window, but monsters in the car, I'm going to suck it in and squeeze my fat butt through that window. I'll lose some skin doing it.
Don't care.
Skippy, I'm going to be getting out of there.
So, yeah, the train is broken down. Something hit it.
And something is at the end of the tunnel, some indistinct form.
Yeah.
That lends the idea that we want to get out of here. And as the thing comes farther up the train, and it looks sort of like a chaotic ball of worms with electricity going through it. It's a very amorphous
it's a blob.
Yeah, full of something writhing, something that looks like cords or worms or snakes or something about that.
Yes.
But definitely shooting off bolts of electricity. So chaotic ball of worms from here on out.
Okay.
And as it's coming closer to this group of people who are stuck on the train, the doctor literally makes her entrance by crashing the party.
Yes.
And just falling out of the sky.
Well, we figured out where she landed.
Yeah, we found the ground zero because she falls right in front of this ball of worms.
Just boom.
It just kind of bounces up and
woo, hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, I'm all right. What's going on here? Hey, you're not from here.
Wait a second.
And starts immediately trying to analyze, what is this thing? Hey, where are you from? What are you doing on this planet? I don't know what I'm doing on this planet. What's going on? Who are you people? And of course, because regeneration process and falling out of the sky is sure to scramble a few neurons, so she's still doing the reboot.
Yes.
In the midst of that, and she obviously remembers a few things because she makes cracks about being a Scotsman 30 minutes ago, a white-haired Scotsman.
I do like how she goes for the sonic screwdriver right away to scan whatever this ball of worms is.
Right, and she doesn't have it.
And she's oh no. She's like, I don't like empty pockets.
Right, I hate empty pockets. I love that. And while she's searching for the screwdriver, the ball makes a move basically and pins one of the bystanders kind of close to the wall.
Yeah.
And we find out his name is Carl. And he's definitely
Carl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, it doesn't seem like the brightest of chaps, but
No.
Everybody in the general car vicinity gets zapped in the shoulder with a bolt of lightning.
And then the worms disappear.
And then the worms teleport away and disappear.
Okay, well, so what's going on?
Right, so they start doing a quick little recap for the doctor, who just kind of takes charge and immediately starts blistering everybody with questions. And at one point, she's got to stop Yasmin and be like, "Why do you keep calling me ma'am?"
Yeah.
Well, because you're a woman. Oh, really? And she's all happy, like, "Does it suit me?" And is all smiling, like, "Sweet, I'm a chick. Finally,
it happened."
Missy told me this was kind of cool. That's all right.
All right.
Brilliant.
I'm back here. Because it's been hinted that the doctor has been female before.
Right. It's been hinted, but we've never seen that face.
Right.
You know, so we can assume she's been a she before, but maybe not, because she is legitimately like really excited.
Yeah.
Again, I'm still going with the theory that Missy is still alive after we've last saw her.
The master is out there somewhere.
Right. So I'm waiting for that little reunion.
Oh my God, that would be awesome.
By the time she shows back up, she may be regenerated again and maybe a dude.
Or a different Missy.
Or a different Missy. But
Missy 2.
Yeah, Missy 2. But either way, that'll be a fun little thing. But she also mentions that she's looking for a doctor. Doesn't remember her name, but knows she's looking for a doctor.
Yes.
And mentions a few other things where she clearly remembers being Capaldi.
Oh, yeah.
But doesn't really know how she remembers that or why that's important.
Darn these regenerations.
And she realizes that, she's lost the TARDIS. Crap.
It could be the end of the world.
It could be the end of the world, but
Or
maybe
not.
not. Who knows? But I need to find that. And we need to all go find information about this thing and figure out what's going on. Why is it here? What are we doing? And what's with the pod? And what pod?
Oh, and I'm an alien.
Yeah.
Just going to throw that one. It just throws it out there right away.
We don't get aliens in Sheffield. Well, I'm an alien and I'm here. Wait, what?
What? Yeah.
Just blurts it right out, at which point Graham was just like, I'm out.
I'm done.
I'm out. I'm out of here. And Carl also decides, like, listen, I'm gone. I'm gonna
weird.
walk. This is weird. I want no part of it.
I got to get to work.
Yeah. And this is when Ryan also tells the doctor about the pod. Which, of course, she's just like...
A pod?
Excuse me? Let's go see that.
Let's check this out.
So they jump in the mystery van and go off to find the pod. It's actually Yasmin's squad car, but in mystery van.
I like the mystery van.
When they get there, they find the pod is gone.
It's gone.
The pod.
Seriously, who took the pod?
I mean,
where'd the pod go?
This could be anybody at this point. It could have been Unit. It could have been Cybermen. It could have been Missy. It could have. We have no idea. Until it flips over and we find two goobers in a garage. One of the goobers has stolen the pod, picked it up, threw it in the back of the van, which, again, how heavy is this thing? How did he just, like, get it up into the van in a sofa?
It's two guys. So how did two guys just pick it up and put it in the van?
Yeah.
And then, okay. I'm like, and it's supposed to be super cold to the touch.
Right.
So...
Were there straps involved? I mean,
where's the mittens?
Here? But we're going to go with, it's the doctor, accept it.
Okay.
And move right along. Excuse me. But one of them was clearly paid by the other to find such things. And
yes.
He's paid money, and he's the lucky one because he got his cheddar and he gets to go off and have a beer and has no involvement with the rest of the story, which means he lives.
Here's your money. Get out of here and go have a drink.
Right. So he makes it out of the story alive. And after he leaves, the other sets up all kinds of cameras.
Yeah.
And wants to document everything and is clearly just freaked.
Sits down and watches it.
Right.
That's it.
Big bug-eyed kind of look on him. So he's clearly expecting something.
Right.
And that's all we know about him because we flip back and everybody's trying to split up for information. Ryan's going to go check social media and Yasmin's going to check the police department.
Yep. And Graham's going to talk with the Bus drivers.
The bus drivers, because if you ever need to know something, ask the bus drivers.
I mean, quite honestly, it's like talking to the taxi guys.
It is.
Cabbies.
It is. It's not. It's really not a bad plan of attack.
They overhear so much.
And as they're getting ready to split up, the doctor faints.
Yep.
Because regeneration is just hell on a body, so she just passes right out.
I kind of need to lay down for a second.
Yeah. So Ryan and Grace get her back to their apartment, their flat. And while Ryan's cruising through social media to find stuff, Grace notices that the doctor who was on the couch is now just rippling with regeneration energy.
A little bit of glow going on.
And
she's glowing.
She's glowing and shows she's got a little bit of a nursing background because she tries to take her pulse.
Yep.
And clearly says she has 2 pulses.
This is okay.
All right. So it's like, she really is an alien. She's got 2 heartbeats. Like, she hasn't lied to you yet, kids.
Yeah.
Start believing what she's telling you. Because...
she's just throwing it out there.
Right. And yeah,
I do like the bit of regen energy that just floats away.
Right, just like it's a little bit is lost.
I'm like, okay, where's it going? What's going on with this?
And meanwhile, while this is going off, the pod begins to crack open.
Yes,
and that's pretty much all we see of that. It
That's
just
about it.
let us know, okay, the pod is beginning to crack open.
Hey,
and
something's coming out.
The cameras burst into flame, so clearly a lot of energy is being released into this. And then we've got the chaotic ball of worms that is just kind of hovering about above the city very maliciously, and apparently it's searching for something. It's spreading out,
it's
basically
scanning.
Sonar. Yeah, scanning for something, assuming it's looking for the pod.
Yeah. Well, why wouldn't it be looking for the pod?
Well,
it should be looking for the pod. The pod's weird.
Right. It's clearly alien. There's 2 aliens here. It's clearly got to have something to do with that.
Yes.
But back to the flat, the doctor has pulled herself together.
As much as possible.
As much as possible, and everybody has gathered back to just kind of share what they have found, or more to the point, what they have not found.
Because so far no one's talking.
Right. Nobody's seen anything. Nobody knows anything. When they notice that they've got new little glowing light balls in their collarbones.
Yeah. What's up with that?
And yeah, they all have them. So everybody who got hit with the bolts of energy from the ball of worms now has these things, and the doctor identifies them as a DNA bomb that will basically just unravel your DNA.
It's kind of disgusting.
And just turn you into a pile of goo, basically.
Ugh.
And, they're definitely collar bombs. Which, after dropping that little info bomb on them, immediately sees Ryan's phone, is like, oh, can I have that? Oh, yeah, I'm just going to reformat that. Don't reformat that. That has all my stuff.
Too bad.
Not anymore, it doesn't. And... after reformatting it, which we're not really sure what she did that for.
No idea.
Hits a button and, like, shocks herself into the wall.
Yeah, she gets slammed into the wall.
And then bounces up and again is like, I'm okay. So, don't know if she was doing something to the bomb or if she just needed the little burst of energy because the regeneration energy wasn't enough. That was like Time Lord coffee shot to her. Just a bit of espresso, a little tase in the morning, get you going.
She gets a shot right away.
Yeah, again, not judging. Whatever blows your hair back, literally. Every doctor has their thing. Maybe hers is going to be tasers instead of bow ties. You never know.
Tasers are fun. Zap. Thrown against a wall every episode.
Bro, God. That would be horrible. I mean, funny, but horrible. Like, stop doing that to yourself.
Oh, I'm feeling a little tired. Zap!
Now, as the doctor picks herself up off the floor and says, we're going to use the phone to track this energy source.
Yeah.
We flip back to the dude in the garage who...
I call him Mechanic.
Okay. The pod opens up to reveal a bio-armored being of some kind. Look, if there's any Japanese TV show fans out there, anybody who knows this reference, but it looked like the Guyver.
It did.
It looked like the Guyver suit.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Immediately we're like, oh, this is bad news, boy. You might want to run now.
Oddly enough, Mark Hamill.
It was Mark Hamill?
No, in the Guyver, the U.S. Guyver anime, he was the voice.
Oh, that's a little gem I did not know about.
Yep.
But and the mechanic is somewhere between the facial expression of Kid at Christmas and wetting himself.
I mean, sometimes the kid at Christmas is wetting himself.
Right, but this is...
He's in between fear and, exaltation?
Yeah,
being exalted? He's super happy.
He asks the being immediately, "Where's my sister?" The being responds, "Ask me again." Where's my
sister?
Yeah. Idiot. Never answer again. Just run away.
Yeah.
Because, of course, the armored creature comes forth, grabs his face like a basketball.
Yeah.
And blue energy comes out.
Zaps
zappy,
him?
who knows, but clearly drops the mechanic,
yes.
putting an end to his questions. The Doctor and company, meanwhile, that would be the Doctor, Graham, Yasmin, and Ryan.
Yes.
Are using the phone to track the energy signal, and it leads them to the pod.
Which is in the mechanic's shop.
Mechanic's shop, and as they roll up, the armored creature blows its way out the door. And
seriously, why can't they just use the door properly?
Because it's less dramatic.
Okay.
And because, come on, we all destroy the environment when we're playing a game, right? You knock the wall down. I want to go through.
If you're given the choice of being able to blow open the door instead of just opening it, yeah, of course we're going to blow open the door.
Yeah, of course. But, of course, they run after him, and Graham takes note about, why is she running after the thing that blew up the... Why are you all running after the thing that just blew up the... Oh, yeah, all right.
All right.
Clearly, Graham is going to be the grumpy voice of reason.
Yes.
And why are we doing this? No, let's not. That's stupid.
No, this is dangerous.
The power armor, of course, disappears.
Yes.
And they go into the mechanic shop and find the mechanic lying on the ground, very dead.
Missing a tooth,
and his wounds appear to have been caused by extreme freezing.
Yep.
Which explains thing that came out, because the pod was cold, it has some sort of frost abilities.
It's also cold.
Yeah, great. We got armored Sub-Zero running around now with an attitude. It's never a good thing. But they take a moment and are trying to figure out, okay, why is this dude here now?
Yeah.
And, he's got a reclaim circuit, so
he's got a return ticket
back here to get back out of here. So what is he looking for? And is he looking for the ball of worms we encountered earlier?
Oh, quite possibly.
Because, it's got to be two warring factions of aliens who are using Earth as a battleground.
Nobody wants you to use Earth as a battlefield.
Right. It's not your sandbox. Get out of here, kids. Ryan immediately claims guilt for this possibility because, of course, he touched the button. He touched the friggin' button.
Yes, he did.
The alien. He invited the vampire into the house. He opened Pandora's box. It's his fault, and the Doctor tries to absolve him of that. But no, let's face it, it's his fault.
Yes, totally.
This is why you don't touch the button. But, at this point, Ryan and Yaz are actually really coming around to believing that the Doctor is exactly as she says she is an alien. It's like, I kind of believe her.
She's being upfront about everything.
Yes, and the Doctor decides, okay, we've got to get serious about this. I've got to build myself a sonic screwdriver. And while she's kind of setting up and prepping that, she's explaining the regeneration process and what it actually feels like about being on the verge of death and then suddenly being born, and there's all these memories, and it's hard to jumble through. So it's basically, any of you who are just starting to watch Doctor Who, this is giving a brief recap of the whole process.
And it's a great jump on point for new fans too.
It is. And that's one of the things you got to love about Doctor Who is the fact that no matter what episode episode you come into, if there's some long involved backstory with something, they kind of explain it very quickly to whatever companion is with them. So, I mean, I love the one Capaldi to Bill, like, what's that? It's a Dalek. What? It's a Dalek. Just don't worry about it. And he never really explains what they are.
They want to kill you.
It's off camera.
That's good.
But it's just, it is what it is. You don't need to know about that right now. We'll get to that.
They just want to kill you.
And then you can go back and do your research and find out what they're talking about. But again, it's just all those, like, here's enough information to pull you in and keep you kind of moving along, but not enough exposition.
Right.
To bog down the storyline. So they just kind of keep it rolling. And as she's explaining that, we've got one of the, what I'm going to coin as the key Doctor moments in the episode where, you know, she says something that you really need to pay attention to, and it's a defining, she's coming back to herself, where she says, all I know is that you need help, and when people need help, I never refuse.
Yes.
So the core is still there. And then we get like an epic 80s style montage of building the new sonic screwdriver, which I don't mean to cast aspersions or anything, but to me it looks like something you might find in the Sharper Image under the heading of quote unquote back massager.
Yes.
For Mummy. It's a little
it bounces like a rabbit, maybe.
Yeah, it's a little toyish in nature, but we'll go with it. It's got the curved handle grip to it, just like Count Dooku in the prequels of Star Wars. It's just another style of grip. It's more ergonomic, I believe.
Actually, yeah, it is. It does look it. I can't wait to get a copy of it.
I bet you can't. Anyways,
I just want to have it part of my collection of Doctor Who crap.
Of course.
Oh, but you and I are gonna have issues.
But they find part of the recording from the mechanics and giving a little bit of his backstory about how his sister was taken by aliens and how he's basically been hunting them.
Yes.
And once he caught one, it was obviously a tiger by the tail sort of thing. Like, now you caught it, what are you going to do with it?
It's like, oh, crap.
He ate you. That's what you're going to do with it. And that's when the Doctor formulates her idea that the worms and the power armor are using the city as a battleground. We flip to the power armor dude finding a drunk guy stumbling down the street, just kind of trying to eat his fish chips and salad and tossing the salad.
Yeah, who really wants the salad?
Yeah,
it was put in there.
And there's a joke in there somewhere because the drunk starts throwing his salad at the dude saying, Halloween's not for a month, get out of here. So the guy gets zapped for tossing his salad at power armor. Which, I don't care what country you're in, if you toss your salad at somebody, them's fighting words.
all right, yeah. Oh, God.
So he gets frozen, and power armor yanks another tooth.
Takes another tooth.
And goes about his way. Now, meanwhile, the Doctor and company find the ball of worms, and through this contraption that looks sort of like a cross between a vacuum cleaner and a proton accelerator from Ghostbusters, managed to stun the worms into dropping.
Kind of shuts it down for a moment.
Yeah. And the Doctor identifies it as gathering coils.
It's just a database,
which is
basically,
each coil wrapped in it is another node of data or something like that, or able to gather data. So this is just,
normally it's not this big,
a ton of these things all wrapped together, making it like a super search engine.
It's Google on steroids.
It's Google and the CIA on steroids, just taking all of the information. But of course, power armor shows up because the worms are his. Because of course the aliens always have worms.
Oh,
and takes his helmet off to declare who he is, and because he asked the Doctor who she is, and
she's like,
I'm not really sure. Same question back at you. One better. Why do you take the teeth? Because it's offending me. Why?
We got so close to having the "I'm the Doctor" speech. So it's right. It was right there,
right on the tip of her tongue.
Okay, wait. Let me ask you that.
Yeah, no, back at you, and he takes off his helmet, and he's got all of the teeth embedded into his face and skin.
Oh,
and it's really foul.
It's
just
off-putting.
Ugh. And,
Yeah.
His people take the teeth as trophies, and you wear the trophies upon you at all times. Like, dude, if that's just your how many people have you killed? I'm just curious. How far down does that go? Because sooner or later, the ladies are going to complain. And
or maybe they don't.
Or maybe they don't. I've heard of, ribbed, but teethed. Never a good combination. Anyways, so his people are using the earth as a hunting ground, basically. A trial of leadership where they somehow peg a certain particular human.
One human is pegged.
And it's there, the trophy, and the trial is conducted. They get dropped in with no assistance, no weapons,
nothing.
Oh, the freeze thing doesn't count because it's part of the,
it's who they are.
It's who they are. They live on a planet that is so cold, simply touching a human will cause them to freeze to death. It's just bare
so you're not really
skin contact.
Oh, but it turns out that those ball of wires, ball of worms, is actually him cheating. Coils.
He's cheating because he sent a scout ahead of time to scout his stuff out. He didn't find this human on his own.
No.
That's why it zapped Carl, because he's the targeted human. And, the rest of them with the biobombs in them, they're just to make sure that it doesn't interfere with what's going on. Wrong place, wrong time.
Oh, so mean.
Yeah. So after being confronted about being, cheating during the trial, he just pretty much gives them the brush off and
he's just like,
teleports away to go hunt Carl.
Bamf, I'm out.
Poof. Now we flip to Carl, who apparently has a job at a construction company working a giant sky crane.
He's special.
Which, bless him, I couldn't deal with heights that much.
Nope, not at all.
Just would not do well with me. And we have a brief little moment with the sweet grandpa security guard.
Yes.
Talking to his wife and, are the grandkids tucked in and that sort of thing. And...
No, not the night security guard!
Yeah, Tim Shaw, who is Power Armor, but I still like calling him Power Armor.
Yes.
Shows up and, of course, kills the sweet old security guard just because he's in his way. Takes another tooth because that's what he does. Kind of his shtick. Now, the doctor shows up close behind him and tries to set a trap because, Power Armor is making like King Kong and descending the crane, coming after Carl, who is freaking out watching this thing climb up the crane after him. Ryan, Yaz, and the doctor go up one crane while the grandparents go to evacuate the site.
Yes.
And again, nobody at the construction site ever stopped for 1 second and went, "Can I see your ID? Can I see anything? We're just supposed to leave because you say you're from somewhere."
Yes. You just accept it. Maybe in Yaz's car, they threw it on the police vests.
They did have the vests on. So
but they did have the bright yellow, which,
probably means they had police on the other side. That makes a lot more sense. It's just
guys, we need everyone out. So, it makes sense.
Yeah, get out. Shoo, go away. Power Armor continues to climb the crane. Carl starts climbing up in an attempt to go anywhere but where he is.
Yep.
And of course, the rest of them go up in another adjoining crane. The idea basically to swing the cranes close enough to each other that Carl can transfer over.
Just a step over.
So the doctor goes up. Ryan and Yaz go down to try and drive the crane. There's a bit of fumbling around with the keys and learning which way the crane goes.
Ryan has a moment on the ladder where his condition actually kind of acts up for a second and he almost loses his grip.
Yes, he almost falls and he's just looking around going, no, this is too high. This is way too high. And Carl's saying the same thing as he's crawling across the...
I'm way too high, man. I'm way too high.
Yeah, I think
this isn't happening right now.
He may have meant something else, but either way, they're both having an issue with being too high. And And, the grandparents, instead of evacuating at this point, once they get everybody else out, they were supposed to get out of the area.
Yeah, just leave.
Grace, of course, goes, no, I'm going to go help my baby, and comes back to help.
Grabs the not proton pack.
Yes, we'll call it the proton vacuum.
Yes.
The alien cattle prod, whatever. And charges forth into battle. Now, we go back up to the top of the crane, and they don't quite match up.
No, it's probably a good 5-foot drop and about a 4-foot, 5-foot gap.
Leap in between them. Now, Carl is on the topper end, the higher end of things.
Yes.
I'm going to stop inventing words if I can.
The topper?
The topper means something else completely different. Anyways, confesses that he actually has real issue with heights.
No way.
And that he's only up there because it's his dad's construction company and he has to work somewhere, so he got stuck doing this.
Oh, that poor kid. Really, I actually feel bad for him for that.
Yeah, a little bit. Now, me personally, I have kind of a thing for heights as well. You'd have never gotten my fat butt that far up there anyway, because gravity is not your friend in that situation, and I refuse to do it.
For me, it's about the 6 to 10 foot mark on a ladder that I just go, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. And again,
my feet are going past this, so it's too high.
It's not the fall I'm worried about. It's the sudden stop at the end of it that bothers me the most. Because, yes, Bumbles bounce, but I'm not bouncing that much.
I don't want to bounce.
So
my name's not Mick Foley.
Yeah, and of course the doctor's giving him the pep talk and saying, "No, you can do it. Come on, don't worry. Jump over here." And he finally nuts up and jumps across just as Power Armor grabs him from behind like a kitten and just drags him back.
Dang nabbit, Tim Shaw.
Yes, and just starts dragging him away. And Carl's, "Oh, help me! I'm sorry, help me!"
Oh man, help me, doctor.
And of course, the doctor is just like, "Okay, I gotta do something.
Do
it yourself." And she jumps across and just barely grabs hold of the
other side.
The other side, and while she's hanging there, complains that these legs would definitely used to be longer. And again, like, she knows who she used to be, but she doesn't know who she quite
currently
is. And gets back up and confronts Power Armor.
Yes.
About stop it. You don't have to kill him. This is nuts. And oh, by the way, I've got your recall circuit.
Yeah.
So you can have this or you can have him, but you can't have both. And oh, I'll just kill him and then take that. Nope. If you set off all the bombs,
it falls.
It falls and it breaks and you're stuck here and you win nothing.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're gonna have a compromise here, one way or the other. And it's totally your choice. And she has the other key mark doctor moment about saying, we can honor who we have been and choose who we want to be. Now, please, get off this planet while you still have a choice. I am the doctor.
Yeah.
You asked who I am the doctor. And it's like, okay, she's back.
We get the I am the doctor moment.
Yes.
Finally.
And that's the exact moment where this dude's so screwed. If he doesn't back off and go away, no matter what he picks, it's going to be bad.
Yes.
And, of course, he picks the wrong thing.
Yes.
So he sets off the bomb trying to call her bluff, and they all go off inside of him.
It was actually a double bluff.
Yes. The doctor, whenever she knocked out the ball of worms, managed to
reversed the bomb back into the ball of worms, and when he downloaded the ball of worms information,
they absorbed into him. So because she used the sonic screwdriver, so all of the humans were safe this entire time.
Yeah.
And he had no leverage, and the choice was made by him. He basically just played himself.
Yep.
And as she's basically telling him how he screwed up, Carl kicks him off the crane. And you know what?
And boom,
kicks him off. And the doctor chastises him for that, saying, you had no right to do that. And Carl's like, he just tried to kill all of us.
Yeah.
But again, the doctor's
it's a no killing.
It's justice, not vengeance sort of thing. Like, we can all
He made the choice to set the bombs off, and the bombs were in him. So that's not me killing him. You kicking him off, that you made that decision.
Yeah, that's not cool, man. Damn it, Carl.
Damn it, Carl.
Meanwhile, at the bottom of the cranes, we have the ball of worms that's been trying to eat away one side of the cranes this entire time, which was causing the urgency of getting Carl off of the crane.
Yeah.
And here comes Grace.
Just
full into the breach, kids, and got the prod and is
She's
zapping
right
the
in
worms
there.
and right in there. And of course, when the worms finally blow up, she's caught in the blast and knocked off of the crane where it was eating through.
And she didn't have a nice landing.
No, and this brings us back to the beginning of the episode.
Yeah.
With Ryan talking about the greatest woman he's ever known, and he's out there to fight because she would want him to, and
it was his nan.
Grace died. So
I mean,
and
we
now
didn't
he's
get to
trying to honor her in that way. We didn't actually see her die, but
yeah. Well, kind of. There was the Graham, take care of the kid type of moment.
Yeah, it was the Uncle Ben moment. You know,
Ryan,
Spider-Man.
Great responsibility comes with. Oh wait, that's not the line.
With the sonic screwdriver. Right, and so then we now know what Ryan is talking about, because then we see him going back up the hill with the bike and trying over and over and over and over again to ride the bike, because that's what she wanted him to do. Because she kept telling him, if you keep trying, you'll
going to
eventually
happen.
Do it. Yeah, it's going to happen. And while he's doing this, the doctor is in the distance watching him beating himself up and trying over and over and over again.
Yep.
And then we go to Grace's funeral, celebration of life, whatever it was.
Something like that.
Funeral services, basically. And Ryan's dad has not shown up.
Nope.
And
he's 2 hours late already.
2 hours late, and we get the feeling that he's been MIA for a long time. Just kind of we're not sure Ryan is giving off the vibe that he's a deadbeat dad, but since we have no other information about him, he could be James Bond for all we know.
I mean,
he could be Captain Jack for all we know.
We're going with the story that he went to the corner store for a pack of cigarettes.
Right, and it's been a long time since,
sometimes you have to wait for the good ones to come in.
Yeah, the fresh packs.
Yes.
Absolutely.
It's only been a couple of years.
Yeah. Graham ends up giving the eulogy, and we get a little backstory about Graham, about how he and Grace met because she was the chemo nurse he had. He's in chemo remission.
His cancer is in remission.
And they had been married for 3 years, and they were wonderful.
He thought he thought he was the one that had a short amount of time left.
Right. And how she was the best thing that ever happened to him. And what was the crack? He was her second husband, but he'll do for a second go, or so just making a crack about
he was good enough.
Yeah, you were all right. We'll give you a shot. You got a chance. Again, just kind of showing what kind of a gregarious character she was, and her sense of humor and love of life, and just teasing. I'm kind of hoping we find some way to visit her again. Like she comes, like we can go farther back in the timeline so that Ryan can have one more episode with.
Oh, kind
with
of
Grace.
the Fry dream sequence with his mom.
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, by the way, that's a hard episode.
Yeah, that's a hard episode. But or Bill and her mother.
Yes.
Or we've done this sort of thing before, but she seems like a fun kind of character that I hope they bring back. But we flip forward to a scene where the doctor is talking to Graham and Yaz and Ryan, and just trying to explain, like, look, I'm just a traveler. Sometimes I see things and I do what I can.
Right.
I don't have a plan. I don't have my TARDIS. I need to find that, and I need you guys to help me find it.
I do like the, just a traveler, because it goes back to Twice Upon a Time, where Bill was like, you're just a bloke going around the universe putting things right. And it's just like, Yeah, that's all the Doctor is.
Yeah.
Just a character that's floating around the universe going, hey, wait a second, let me fix that.
Hey, what's over here?
What's this?
Yeah.
Oh, this needs to be taken care of.
So, yeah, and that kind of is a bit of foreshadowing, I think, as to how this season is going to go. She's just she's like Cain, walking the earth, finding whatever she can. And in this particular case, it may be literal because she doesn't have the TARDIS, but she's
still no TARDIS.
She's rigging this teleport pad, which she admits is kind of a risky thing, and you can't really direct it very well. And it's like, well, all right, you're used to flying the TARDIS. How is this any different?
Yeah. So for me, I saw this, and it immediately brought back memories of the Third Doctor's workshop. Because the Third Doctor, through his entire run, is stuck on Earth and has a workshop that he's just like, oh, I'm going to put this together and this little worry thing, and this is going to go ding, and oh, what's this over here?
This is a machine that goes ping.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
And, of course, this thing is supposed to teleport her to the closest location that the energy signature says the TARDIS is at.
Right.
And it's, it should just take her. And
of course.
Thank you so much for your help. It's been great. And she holds the sonic screwdriver up, and
just
the microwave
bye,
dings, and it goes off, and it sucks all of them up.
Everyone.
And next thing you know, they find themselves all floating in the void of space.
Yeah.
End of episode. Like,
I like how the
shit.
I love the Doctor's look on her face. Like, she's like, oh, it kind of worked. I'm looking around and, oh, they're with me. Oh, this is not good.
Right. And we won't even get into how they're going to go with the catastrophic decompress.
Hey, look, supposedly science allows, if you hold your breath at that exact moment that you are entered into the vacuum, or you release it completely.
You have to have your lungs have to be completely empty, otherwise your lungs will explode.
Something like that.
Something like that. Just look, Google Neil Tyson deGrasse. He'll explain it. He'll explain it. There's a whole lot of reasons why you have a very, very short amount of time. As a matter of fact, the Doctor explains it in one of his lectures about this is what's going to happen.
You'll both freeze and burn to death at the exact same time.
At the exact same time, and you have about 30 seconds before you're completely dead.
Yeah.
The void of space. It means death. TARDIS means life. And yeah, so if you missed that, go back and rewatch that episode.
Yes.
And you'll have the full explanation of why they are really up Poops Creek without a paddle.
Oh, God, yeah. And then we get a teaser for the rest of the season that's just kind of showing off guest stars
and different characters and different time periods that we're obviously going to be jumping around
which means that the TARDIS is going to be found at some point.
Not necessarily. She might keep teleported padding around. You never know.
I've got hope that
okay, George Clinton, you keep living in a town called Hope, but I'm just saying we don't know what's going to happen because we haven't been there yet.
Yes, that's very true. But one of the names that I caught in this was Alan Cummings.
Yes, love Alan Cummings. I believe he is slated to play King James in episode 10. So looking forward to that.
It's going to be a bit off.
So he's
between now and then.
It's going to be a little while, but Alan Cummings just is awesome at playing kind of a pompous ass.
Yes.
So the fact that he's playing King James is
a pompous
perfect. A pompous ass and a bit of a puffed.
Hey,
so it should be Alan Cummings perfect for it.
Yeah.
He should have just enough smarm and snark in there to be perfect royalty.
I've already accepted her right away. She's the Doctor, and this Doctor is just going to be quirky.
Yeah, she's good
quirky.
No really quirkier than say Tennant.
No quirkier than say Tom Baker.
Right. It's just a new character. Like you, I immediately accept her as the Doctor.
Yeah,
absolutely. I think she's going to be brilliant, and I'm fascinated to see how things play out.
Oh, I can't wait.
Because again, with her not having any Whovian knowledge or background whatsoever and just coming at it, reading the scripts, going, okay, I'm going to play it like this.
Yep, this is what I'm doing with the character.
Just have fun with the character. I think we're in for quite a ride this season, and I think it's going to be awesome.
Oh, I can't wait.
Just can't wait. Bring it on. Bring more.
Yes. And next week, we're going to be checking out next week's episode, The Ghost Monument. Who knows what that means? Because I haven't seen anything.
Because we have no information on it just yet.
It's so hard to not have information regarding anything.
Right.
Oh, this is going to be awesome.
But exciting as well.
I know. I can't wait. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for checking the episode out with us. Go ahead and hit that like button. Smash the subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. And remember to keep your eyes and ears out because you never know where or when the doctor's going to turn up next. Have a great week, everybody.